The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, David White.
And welcome to the next edition of the Power Trading Hour. And as always, it doesn't matter where you're at as long as you're here at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So what do we have? Well, got a huge bounce. My guess this was on mini, shorting very late yesterday, and then piling on at the open fairly extensively. And that was enough to run those guys pretty much all day long. I was kind of shocked to see how many people did go short this morning. Turn this up a little bit better so I can hear it. But everybody just thought that it was going to be a one-day thing. It was going to reverse like it did on Wednesday, and they zigged. Why they should have zagged, but of course that's they did that all day long, all the way up, and it just continues to melt higher. Generally, the question is this on big volume? We had about 17 billion shares yesterday, which gives us a high volume low, which isn't a low until it gets retested. The question is, how long does it take to get that retested again? Today, a whole lot less volume. We're doing about 7.7 billion shares. So probably going to come in about 12 or 13 billion shares. So maybe by Monday, my belief is this will be over when the shorts quit shorting. But I don't know. It seems like when bears get their a taste of human flesh, they just have to be put down. There's no getting them out of the bearish mode. Now, I'm bearish. I'm just not thinking that today. I thought maybe it would be around 11 or 12 we'd see a little respite. But the more they shorted, of course, the more that other folks went long, the more those folks had to cover. And it's a market that's been slowly ratcheting up throughout the day. Now, I don't think that the bear market's over. I do think, though, that this is like every other bear market I've seen, where everybody doesn't believe the party's over, at least in the short to medium term. I'm not talking long term. But I think we're probably going to meander up and back and forth until we make a low that's probably somewhere around early May, when everybody finally believes that the Fed is raising rates. They are going to pull money out of the bond market, and that the easy money is over. I believe a lot of people think that last couple of days means the Fed is just not going to do nothing next month. I think they're probably going to wake up to a rude awakening, but that's what makes markets a lot of wishful thinkers for both speculators, traders, politicians, and what else can you say? 877-927-6648. Lots of shorts now in the market with a drop to January 24th and February 24th lows, enough to fuel the squeeze them up down into March 18th. Actually, my belief is that we may have a little bit of the market consolidating at these upper levels for a while, and then probably I'm looking around I think they're just going to hold the market up, thinking that they can play chicken with the Fed. When is that meeting when they would actually raise? What's the date on that? Let's take a look at the Fed calendar here. Fed meeting calendar. Okay. I should know this already off the bat. I do not. March 15th and 16th. Okay, so that gives you an idea what's going on. And of course, expiration's on the 18th. of next month. I did know that because I was working on options earlier today. But it really looks, when you look into March and then into the longer term options, it really looks like they are expecting the market to try to go up and double dog dare the Fed to actually cut rates. And at that point, after that, they think the market's lower. So maybe we get a couple of weeks of meandering around here at these upper levels. Right now, options point to about, let me see here because I did it earlier. Let's see if I am right. Somewhere just a little over 4,400 on the S&P cash for expiration. So we're almost there. And my guess is once we get up there, you're probably going to start seeing a lot of people start shorting. But, this is as I put in the newsletter almost every day, manic depressive market, where one day you can't find a price low enough and the next day you can't find a price high enough. You can't put both of those into 2 days. So the reality is somewhere else. But all we have are people making wild swings. We don't have any people making actual contact in the ring, as it were say. So yeah, I think that what we have is a market that's trying to push up higher. The best thing I can say is that it looks like everybody's going to double dog dare the Fed to raise. But that's kind of it. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of history. Talk more about the markets. I've got a lot of stocks to look at today. You can call me at 877-927-6648. But first, history.
There it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day, there we go. On this day, one more. On this day in 1837, with his wife Emily and a colleague, Orange Smalley, and Thomas Davenport received the first American patent on an electric motor in 1837, patent number 132. So I guess there's 131 before them. Not that many patents. We probably get that in an hour today, or at least patent applications, but probably not a whole lot in them. But we kind of think that, electric motors, all that kind of stuff, the big problem they had was powering them. They had little generators that generally were hooked up to like water mills, that kind of stuff. But steam powered, of course, really continued all the way into almost 1900. The big change was when they were able to, at least for big industrial electric motors, was when they were able to Tesla figured out AC generation and were able to go to three-phase. To really drive the big AC motors that really made huge power. And of course, those made the ability to put in elevators in tall and high rises, which even made high rises. It's always one thing that leads to
Are you grinding in the market, but seeing little to no return? Or are you a successful trader, simply looking to make your job a little easier? Learn to take the path of least resistance with David White's powerful trading newsletter. David White is an accomplished trader whose deep understanding of technology and the markets allows him to consistently find and share winning trades. Support and resistance define the ranges in which stocks trade. By understanding these trading ranges, David White is able to find the path of least resistance. David White's trading newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, is delivered daily before the markets open to make every trading day an easy win. Visit TFNN.com today and subscribe to David White's Ultimate Trading Newsletter for $119 a month. And try all of our newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Take the path of least resistance at TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
As we return, like MacArthur to the Philippines or a bad rash, we go to Gary in Ojai. How you doing today, Gary?
Doing well. How about you?
Fantastic. So what do you want to talk about today?
Well, I listen to your show just about every day. You've spoken many times about Seagate and Western Digital and just their issues. Just want to get your thoughts. It looks like it's on a fairly decent ABC down. And I guess the other question, Dave, is when you test a low, like I guess yesterday, the Thursday, if you don't actually break the low, is it really testing it on lighter volumes? I guess I'm asking, was that really a test of the low yesterday?
Yes, but I'm going to qualify what a test of the low is. Yesterday, you tested a 20 million share low with 4 million shares. Okay. So normally what I say is if it tests with, let's say, 50% of the volume or less, it doesn't have to go break the lows. But if it's more than that, I won't just consider it going the other way. But I will suspect that you may get yet another retest. But you get something with less than 50%. In fact, all my scans that we're going to go through here today, after I get off the line with you, unless there's another caller, is all about these light volume tests. Now, normally at lows, I'll have 300, 400, 500 stocks that have tested. Significant long-term lows. I'll have 300 or 400 stocks. I have about maybe 30 or 40. A lot of them I got rid of, maybe 20 that were penny stocks and stuff. But no, this is good. Now, can it bounce? It certainly can in a downtrend. You've got a kind of a nice move off the low. What this does tell you is that there are no more sellers down there. You heard me talk about why Western Digital and Seagate both had problems going forward, right?
Right.
Okay. With people that don't listen every day will probably come in. There's a few things. One, spinning drives are becoming less of the market, although they're still doing well for long-term storage. The big problem with Seagate and Western Digital for drives is a great deal of what they sell now is SSDs or solid-state drives built on memory. And that memory is kind of the same thing as you get in a thumb drive, right? You pull it out, it's still there. It's not like the memory in your computer where you turn off your PC and that's gone. So that non-volatile memory, the big thing was that the old Toshiba factory ended up getting a whole ton of bad chemicals. And what happened was the wash that's supposed to take care of to neutralize the acid etching didn't really do that. And so the memory tested well, but by the time it started to get into machines and out to consumers, it started failing in great quantities as that acid started to etch in through the copper traces and some of the other parts in the memory. So that's what you're really kind of seeing off that $69 high is just a total lack of memory, especially from the Toshiba and third-party folks. The Micron, just the opposite side of it, since they didn't have those problems, has kind of been the poster child for the good side of memory. Western Digital's on the receiving end of it, and it's a lot tougher. I hope that's what you remember when I talk, or when I talked about it before. But those are kind of the general fundamental underneath that. So does this mean that things are probably going to get better? They are. It's just generally legacy companies like Western Digital and Seagate eventually run into an issue, and that is you really can't make SSDs cheaper than the companies that make the memory, right? And almost all these guys have some ability to make memory on the backside. The other side of this is Samsung's memory, which I actually saw an ad today, which was twice the memory that I have in my PC for the main drive, the C drive in mine, from, who is it? I'll think of it in a minute. But anyway, it's twice, about maybe $40 more than I paid for half that a year ago. So it depends on where you're at. But now it's going to drive me nuts. Hang on just a second here. Okay. I know it's in here somewhere. Okay. Yep. Both Samsung, and that's not the one I have, though. See if it's a little farther down here. But Samsung memory on sale, right? So Samsung and Micron are both kind of putting it to Seagate and Western Digital, why those guys are on the sidelines, not able to do really anything. Okay. Let me see if I can find it here. There we go. Okay. Okay. There's one. There it is. I've got the Sabrent 1 terabyte Rocket MVMe 4.0 Gen 4. But yeah, I think this is twice the size, and I think I paid $180 for it about a year ago for the 1 terabyte. So I think there's a couple things going on. Could it bounce to 55? I think it could. Making a low doesn't mean everything's going higher, but generally it's tough to say that it's going lower at these. But yeah, does that answer it? When you get half the volume or less, and it's close,
yeah. So
that's generally good enough.
Things look like it's going on. I've heard you say it many times. When you test the low with really, really light volume, which is what it did yesterday, it should get a bounce like you just said. But it looks like also maybe on January 28th, didn't it kind of confirm pretty large ABC down? So it just seems like there's two things going on here with that technically, and that's why I just wanted to maybe see what you had to say about it, 'cause it looks like it could bounce, I guess, based on the low volume yesterday. But Isn't it
Yeah.
going to confirm big ABC down?
I mean, the ABC I see starts on January 5th. The B comes in on January 28th. The C comes in on February 17th, right?
Right.
So there's the
Yeah.
ABC. Now you end up with 25% of the volume at the B point. That tells you it's not an ABC.
Yeah. I'm just saying, going even further out, if an A point is like from June 3rd to the B point of October 29th.
Can you hang on? Can you hang on for a minute? We're going to be going to break. We'll be back, hopefully, in a minute. Oh, hi.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. Hopefully we still have... Where am I at? Gary.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. There's a gap that is right about 55 on this. You get up there on light volume, then that. But generally, when you're going to... it's not uncommon for ABCs... generally, or not generally, but let me put it this way. It's not all the time. They instantly just make an ABC down. Sometimes they consolidate out going to the side. I suspect this could be the same thing, but there's a gap right above the 22nd of February. It didn't have a lot of volume, but I imagine that's kind of it if you got back up in there. And then maybe on the next move down, you could break the $48. But right now, you're going to get probably a good pop, more than a 618. And the 618 is $54.37. So I'm looking at that gap as a likely culprit to come back up there. But, it could just stumble up all the way to $57. But I'm not a big fan right now of thinking that it's going to do that much better. Pretty big price war between them and Western Digital, even for the big drives, their data center drives. And, ideally, if I was looking at playing this on the long term, there's a nice confluence level at $59.30, going to about 61, $62. That's kind of the very high end, and that would be basically almost a 50% retracement of the move down, and that would set up an even bigger, more powerful ABC on the way down. Could take a little while, but like I said earlier in the show, I'm thinking maybe we have some consolidation into the Fed in March, and once they say, hey, we're not really fooling anymore, we're really going to do it, we're not going to fold like a $5 suitcase, that the market is going to start readjusting for higher interest rates. I think it's trying to fool itself, or the participants are trying to fool itself that higher interest rates won't cause a drag on what's going on. But
very good.
It takes a long time for it to sink into the markets a lot of times, and I think it may take another couple of weeks. But we shall see. I'm not a big bull here. I'm only somebody thinking that it bounced a bit. Anyway, we're going to show more stocks like this. But thanks for the call.
Yeah, and if I don't know if it's on your list or not, but you can also look at F5 on that list when you go through those. I think that's another one that tested a high volume low with really light volume. I just
FFIV?
That too.
FFIV?
FFIV, please. Yes, that's all I had, Dave.
Good enough.
Thank you.
You can. Okay, let's go ahead and clean this up so we can take a look at it. Yeah, you've got a lot of these out here. It didn't make my list, mostly because you had too much noise here, let me put it that way. A lot of them are a little easier, but you did retest January 26th low, 188.50 for 189.84. So you came close, about $1.30 above it. But again, 1/5 the volume, but not getting a lot of love today. And that's it. So let's go through the rest of them out here that are like this, because there are a handful of these. But like I said, generally on a lot of times the market has turned. I should have 300-400 of these testing on lighter volume, not a market going down on massive volume and only having maybe 40 or 50 stocks that did test lows on lighter volume. Anyway, ADP is another one. It went and tested the 192.69 low from January 28th. That had 3.5 million shares with 2 million shares. You did go below it, close back above it, which is a good sign. You don't have the follow through today, which makes me think that there's going to be at least some pullback. My belief is something maybe around 42.50 on the S&P cash. And after we pull back, maybe toward that level, that then maybe we don't have to go quite that far now, but maybe 42.75 or something. We're going to pull back, and then we're going to probably consolidate up into the FOMC meeting. AMAT Materials, not bad. Did see a 13 million share low on January 28th. You got into it with 8.5 million shares and a nice reversal yesterday. The ARC funds getting a little bit of love. Certainly got a blowout in that. Previous low was about 8.4 million shares yesterday, 4.75 million shares, and a nice reversal back into the trading range. I don't think they're out of the woods, though. Block is BLOK, not the other one. You had a 500,000 share low in this one. This is the Transformational Data Sharing ETF, BLOC. 1.8 million shares back on January 24th. You got into that with 500,000 shares, so not quite a third, a little less than a third, but or a little more than a third, but pretty nice. And again, only about half the volume of the pop here. A great deal of this, I suspect, is going to fade away either late today or on Monday. And then we'll get a chance to, if you want to go long for a couple of weeks, you probably have that chance. BNTX, which I asked one of the dinners that's big on tech, on biotech, what's going on in this one. It had a 5.8 million share low on January 24th and tested it with 2 million shares yesterday. So again, this is much more what I'm looking for, is a little bit of consolidation before these go up. I was wondering how well this one would do. They've had a lot of supply chain issues, and probably one I would like to buy when those get resolved. But certainly Chewy, CHWY, the dog and pet food company, cats I guess too. I see their boxes everywhere, so I know people are doing business with them. Almost as much as I see Amazon things out there on the porches as I'm driving around. This one had a fairly decent low volume test, January 24th. You had 11.5 million shares at $36.70. You got below that by a penny. Man, I like that. You pierced it by a penny. And guess what? Only about 6 million shares yesterday. That's a pretty good low. Again, I don't think it's over quite yet, but a lot of these are, you know, in the next couple of weeks, as I said, I think we could stumble up a bit into that Fed meeting. Very interesting on the individual stocks. Digital Alley, a 3.8 million share low. This is a penny stock, by the way. I had to dip into a few of these to get any of these. As I said, there are not that many stocks testing on lighter volume, but there are a handful. Anyway, when we come back, we'll look at DocU.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
As we return, we continue to look at stocks that have tested lows on lighter volume. DocuSign really had been signing off. You've made 3 lows now on lighter volume, and it hadn't confirmed quite yet, but it is very interesting. What I'm looking at is first low at 131.51 with 76 million shares. The next low is 108 with 9 million shares. Now, yesterday, you went through that, closed back above it. So you've got kind of a floor back in here today. Not much more than a doji so far. It's probably going to take a little while to consolidate, but keep an eye on this one. You've got at least the first sign of maybe a turnaround. And on a dead cat bounce, there's a double, triple gap at $200, and that may take the rest of the year to get there. If things turn around, it may take them March or May to get started. But you've got a nice triple gap, and those things, double gaps, I love. Triple gaps tell you that $200 is a magic number on Docu if it can get going the other way. We already looked at FFIV, which I did like. You've got a gap up to about 215 to get filled, to FLWS, which is 1-800-Flowers. I thought when I saw this one come across, I thought, okay, you got Mother's Day and all that stuff going on here. Doesn't look as bad as it, and maybe something not so invested in world events that might be able to do well. It has a double gap right over about $18.25. So it might not be, it may be a better low risk trade. Certainly, I like the fact that it had a almost 10 million share low on January 27th, came into it with about 1 million shares. Again, if I had 400 of these, I'd just been going long all day long and telling everybody to bet the farm, but not quite getting that. Let's see what's going on. I didn't like that one as much as I thought I did. Logitech International, of course, a huge recipient of selling webcams into a world centered around online Zooming, had a nice low that might set up some kind of longer-term pop back higher. There's a nice gap up at about 88 that I was looking at on this one. January 24th, $71.11, 2.2 million shares. Came in with 1 million shares yesterday and back into the trading range. MTRX. Matrix Service. This was kind of interesting. It missed by 2 cents on a low. I don't know much about the company, but December 29th, $6.18 with 2.75 million shares, only with 850,000 shares yesterday. Closed back into the trading range. MWA. Come on. There we go. Mueller Water Products. Apparently, water's going out of style. 1.8 million shares on January 28th. Tested it with 950,000 shares and back into the trading range. A lot of these may have to do a little consolidation over the next few days, but interesting. And then, of course, going into fund buying starting next week, kind of really starting next Tuesday. So I think we can keep a good idea or a good eye on some of these. We might see if some of the big funds are going to go after them now that they look like they bottomed. Netflix finally found a little bit of sand under its keel as it was been sinking. I was looking for 380. The thing blew through there and went down to 351 January 24th. That was on 32 million shares. You had 7 million shares yesterday and a little move higher. After it consolidates, where's resistance? It's about 480. So could be a nice trade on that one. Even in a bear market, these things can rise. Frieza, PHR, I'm going to guess this is some kind of biotech. 1.25 million shares back on January 28th. Did it with 720,000 shares yesterday. Pierced it, came back, closed inside. But I have a feeling that's kind of like most of all biotech. Portillo's, I think this is some kind of restaurant chain, if I'm not mistaken. $22.75 back on January 24th. 2.4 million shares, 700,000 shares. Pierced the low, closed back inside, got a light volume today. Again, if you don't have volume today, connotes a pullback and some consolidation probably before it goes up. But if you pop back in, you should see volume right away in the markets. Chicago Hot Dogs? Medical software company. Okay, thanks. Senseonics. What is it? Senseonics. SENS. This one is going back, and my love of double gaps finally got tagged. This is a penny stock, but there is a nice double gap that goes back at about $1.45 for a long time, and it finally went sideways for a long time, came back into that. Nice reversal off that. Again, probably nothing to do right now, but wait for the for it to pull back a little bit and see if there's anything else out here. Another penny stock that I thought was interesting is SY, but I can't remember why I thought it was interesting now. Task Us, ordinary shares, TASK is the symbol, down to 26.04 on the January 24th low. Did so on 1.7 million shares, 700,000 shares, and a close back into the trading range. A little bit of a pullback on this one on a lighter volume. So that one looks like that may confirm sooner rather than later. Team, TEAM, had a beautiful move higher on July 30th of last year, 6.1 million shares. Tested it with 3.46 million shares on January 24th. Tested it again with 2.3 million shares yesterday, and holding up out here. I have to look at more about them. TGLS, which is Technoglass. Keep an eye on this. You had a previous low at 1806. That's the December 9th low, a day that's 2 days after the day that will live in infamy. 11.1 million shares, went below it to $17, closed back into the trading range, and did so on 300,000 shares. I don't know what this company does, but I will find out. THO, one of the other things that I thought was interesting is I had two stocks. Count them, two, like the double mint things in the big RV place, in the RV space. Thor Industries and Winnebago, both making lower volume. We'll cover that as we wrap up the show.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
As we get ready to wrap up the show, as I said, one of the only things I found as a theme from yesterday's action was RVs, Thor Industries, almost a 2.9 million share low that came on January 31st, $85.13. You went down to $80.47, closed back into the trading range with 1 million shares, so a third of the volume, and you got a little bit of move here. I suspect a lot of these in next week are going to come back and at least kind of touch these previous lows, even though they blew through them. So you get another opportunity to buy it at 85 if you really want to get started. Winnebago was the other one. Like I said, not a lot of rhyme or reason in these, but I did notice this one of the two. Winnebago, not quite as good on the volume, but still good. It didn't pierce as much either. $59.33 on January 24th low, 1.2 million shares. Went below it by almost a buck, actually a buck and a penny. Did so on 750,000 shares, closed back into the trading range. This one actually it wasn't as weak and didn't turn as strong. Light volume again. like I said, I think you're probably at least going to pull back 50% to these previous lows. And that's where, if things get a little bit better looking, maybe you want to take a stab at this. Of course, both of these are highly responsive to the price of gas and diesel. So your mileage may vary. See what I did there? Anyway, last question for Gary is GLD. What do I think? Somewhere between 1750 and 1775 is probably your buy. See the last tick here, 1888. Okay. I'd like to see it pull back just a little bit more on Monday, maybe Monday or Tuesday. 1850 would be perfect. Bye. Sell when you can, not when you have to. We shall see you Monday. Same bat channel, same bat time.